Hello, Wine Geeks! I'm so glad to see you here again on our channel Wines, dedicated to wine lovers like me. In this episode, we are going to talk about the relationship between wine and society and how they evolved together over the years. As we saw on the first episode, Wine Through the Ages, man has been devoted to this beverage for a very long time, and this has led to the evolution of cultivation, production, storage, and transport techniques, in addition to the development of a huge amount of different varietals and blends that surprise our palate. Wine has an extreme historical, economic, and religious importance. In the ancient times, Greeks, Romans, Egyptians, Etruscans, Persians, Chinese, Christians, and many other people saw it as a sacred beverage and created several myths to explain its existence. For the Egyptians, Osiris, the god of agriculture, was the responsible for planting the vine and producing the wine. In addition, they associated the wine with the sweat of Ra, the sun god, and the tears of Horus, their creator god, whose wife Hathor would have given rise to the first grape seeds. They were also the first one to register the winemaking process and the use of the beverage in the celebrations by pharaohs, priests, and nobles. So, since ancient times, the wine has been associated with wealth and sophistication, and the lower classes had no access to the beverage at that time. Wine took an important role in the expansion of internal and external Egyptian market, and also had a great relevance for the culture and economic development of Greek and Roman Empire. The Greeks associated the beverage to the god Dionysius and began to cultivate it in the Mediterranean, later expanding it to other regions of Europe. Wine was widespread much more than it was in the Egypt and could be enjoyed by all classes. Romans were responsible for creating perhaps the most famous of the god of wine, Bacchus. And the history of the expansion of wine is mixed with that of its empire, as Romans used the cultivation of grapes as a way to mark territories and impose your culture to the conquered peoples. That's how the beverage arrived in Great Britain and other regions that are still highly prestigious for wine production until today, such as Germania and Gaul, with emphasis to Bordeaux, Burgundy, and Rhone Valley. Thanks to this expansion, that's why wine remained alive even after the decline of the Roman Empire. We cannot forget to talk about its relevance to the Christians, as it's present in several passages of the Bible, which says that Noah was the first one to plant a vineyard, and even today in the Catholic Communion representing the blood of Jesus. Another ritual that happens until today is the Harvest Festival, which has the intention of thanking the gods for the good harvest. The first trace of the beverage indicates that the consumption was different from what we do today. In addition to grape, rice, honey, and other fruits could be added. Romans loved sweet wines, so they developed techniques to increase the concentration of sugar in the fruit, such as start the harvest only when the fruit achieved the peak of the ripeness, or letting the fruit dry in the sun. You may have noticed that since its discovery, man can't live without wine and makes all the effort to take it with him wherever he goes. That's how the wine, with the great navigations of the modern age, came to places that we call the New World, such as the USA, Brazil, Chile, Argentina, and other countries that start to dedicate themselves to the winemaking in more recent times after the European colonization. All this miscegenation brought different perspectives on this beverage and helped to transform the market into what it is today, so diverse and rich. And then came the Industrial Revolution that led to a complete new era of wine production. From mechanizing the grape harvesting to the fermentation tanks with control of pressure and temperature to the automated bottle filling. All this made the large scale and the democratization of wine possible. Although today there is also a contrary movement in favor of quality, not only profit, in which specialists are looking for innovative forms or new versions of the ancestral techniques, or even combining both, trying to produce wines that maintain the characteristics of grape itself. Advances in genetic engineering provided new varietals from unusual crosses between different grapes and also new types of yeasts. Can you see how wine and society evolution goes hand in hand? And to prove that, note that currently there is a growing interest in organic, biodynamic, and natural wines, which I love and we are going to talk more about later. These wines, unlike conventional ones, have a more sustainable and healthy appeal, which reflects the current moment of the society. Another thing that has been growing the past few years is wine tourism, which we are going to discuss more in a further episode. Today, you can go to the winery, see the whole production since the harvest to distribution. You can taste different labels, you can have an incredible lunch, each meal paired with a different wine, and also stay there if you want. In addition, wineries are usually surrounded by astonishing landscapes and are so beautiful that it's worth the visit only for this. It's an experience that I highly recommend, and I'll give you several tips in an upcoming episode. That is, today wine is everywhere, from the bakery to the supermarket, to the bar, to your home, to your vacation itinerary. It's getting more and more democratic and present in our daily lives. We have wines of all kinds and different price ranges, from red to white, oranges, sparkling, delicate, intense, single varietals or blends. And for every situation, hot or cold day, to be drunk by the pool or with your feet in the sand, to relax in front of a fireplace, to pair with a delicious meal or a special dessert, to combine with a snack, or just have it alone while you have a conversation, use it as an ingredient of a drink. With so many options, I'm sure that one of these is going to catch your heart. So, what are you waiting for? Start enjoying it right now. My tip for you today is this app Vivino, which helps me a lot in the day-to-day. You can download it on your phone and use it in two different ways. The first one is to help you making the right purchase when you're choosing a bottle on the shelf, avoiding that you fall into a trap of a tempting promotion, or finding out the best option on a restaurant wine list. You can search by name, photo of the label, or wine list. Then you select the year of the harvest and see the evaluation of other users, which is a score from 1 to 5 stars. You can also check the reviews to know more about the characteristics of the wine and if it matches your style or harmonizes with your meal. Sometimes the producer himself leaves some tips, and that's how I saw the recommendation of the best time to drink the wine from Burgundy, which I mentioned in the tasting at the end of the first episode. Another way to use it is to save your own evaluations of the wines you drink, which can both help other users or yourself, reminding you of the wines you liked the most and are worth drinking again, and also the ones you hated, so you won't fall into the same trap twice. You can also accompany the wines your knowledgeable friends have been drinking, which can serve as an inspiration for a present to them or even to yourself. As it has been in the market for a long time, it has more than 42 million users. It is the largest wine library in the world, with more than 11.9 million labels. And the app sends you some good tips of offers that are going around. I think it's super practical and I hope you like it too. If you have already used it, please leave your comments here telling us how your experience was. And if you have tips of other apps, just let me know too. I'll be very glad to receive them. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it and keep watching us. Subscribe to the channel in the link below and follow us on Instagram to stay on the top of the latest news.
It doesn't matter what's been said and done. It's time to start from scratch. Let go of the past, but you don't seem to care. Wine lips are missing you.